Today we're checking out some of the best cases available for the new Galaxy S25 FE. I'll leave a link down below with current pricing and more information on everything covered in today's video. So let's go ahead and get started. The Kindsuit case has a nice texture to it. Feels almost like a leather material on the outside, felt like material or microfiber on the inside. It does have a little bit of flex to it. Pretty rigid overall though. They've got several colors to choose from. The one shown here is just called brown. Pretty good screen protection all the way around. Doesn't really flex much on the sides. I really like the copper accents for the buttons and around the cameras on the back. Looks like just enough protection for the cameras on the back as well. Also has a nice and large opening for the charging port. The buttons work really good on this one, as you would expect from Samsung. Overall, has a nice texture. I think the grip on this one is pretty good. Even though it doesn't have the built-in magnet, still seems to work pretty good with wireless charging. Only weighs about 26 grams, so really lightweight. If you're wanting a case that feels like leather, I think this is definitely one of the better options out there. Now the official silicone case from Samsung comes in several different colors. The one shown here is mint. It's pretty rigid for the most part. It does have a little bit of flex to it. It's got a harder plastic on the inside, soft silicone material on the outside. Power and volume buttons are covered by the silicone material. The buttons actually work really good on this one, and they've got some nice clickiness, as you would expect from an official case. Seems to have plenty of screen protection. It's got a nice and large opening for the charging port as well. Of course, it's going to work with wireless charging. Weighs about 29 grams for the case itself, so pretty lightweight, so just a tad heavier than the Kindsuit case. I think if you're looking for a silicone case for the S25 FE, unless you need the built-in magnet, it's going to be pretty tough to beat this one. Now if you want something a little more rugged, the Unicorn Beetle grip case, it's got the built-in magnet, which also doubles as a stand. So you can use it in portrait or landscape when in the stand position. This case is really rigid, doesn't really flex much at all. Has a softer TPU material going around the edges. I also like how they add these little ridges to help give it extra grip as well. Has a nice and large lip going around the cameras on the back, so plenty of protection there. I also like how they separate the volume buttons. Seem to have some pretty good clickiness to them. It's got a little extra screen protection on the top and bottom. You can also see it's nice and chunky at the corners for extra protection as well. It's got a nice and large opening for the charging port. The magnet on the back is really nice and strong. You can even shake it and it's not going to fall off. Weighs about 67 grams for the case itself, so it does have a little bit of weight to it. Definitely one of the best rugged cases that you'll find for the S25 FE from SUPCASE. Normally when you see OtterBox cases, they're usually thicker and more rugged, but the Profile series is actually pretty lightweight and slimmer than most other OtterBox cases. Has a matte plastic. Still pretty rigid though. The back is a harder plastic, has a softer TPU material going around the edges. Probably just enough screen protection all the way around. Nice and large lip that goes around the cameras on the back. I also feel like the power and volume buttons stick out a little bit further on this one compared to some of the other cases I've tested. So they're easy to locate and doesn't take much effort to use. You can't get much larger than this one when it comes to the charging port opening. Seems to have pretty nice grip on the sides. Also feels like a little bit of texture on the back as well. Of course, it's going to work with wireless charging. 32 grams for the case itself, so quite a bit lighter than most other OtterBox cases. If you just need a thin case with pretty good protection, I think this one's going to be one of the better options from OtterBox. The nice thing about the Ultra Hybrid case from Spigen is they've got a few different color options, plus they have the built-in magnets. They both feel nice and rigid. There's definitely some grippiness to the sides, the softer material around the edges. It seems to flex just a little bit on the sides. It's got just enough protection around the cameras on the back. I also like how they put the little ridges on the power button. Pretty minimal screen protection. The buttons work really good on here, as expected from Spigen. The magnet on the back seems to be nice and strong as well. Definitely one of the largest for the opening on the charging port. Probably one of the cleanest looking cases if you go with the clear one. Weighs about 39 grams for the case itself, so pretty lightweight. I think if you're looking for a clear case that has the magnet included, it's going to be pretty tough to beat this one from Spigen. If you want a little more rugged clear case, the Pathfinder clear case is definitely one of the better options out there. It's really nice and rigid. It's actually a really super tight fit. Doesn't even move on the sides. Probably some of the best screen protection as far as how big the lip is that goes around the screen. Nice and large opening for the charging port. It's one of the few that actually goes around each of the camera lenses on the back as well. I always like how UAG makes the buttons a little larger and thicker than some of the others. They're super easy to use and they've got some nice clickiness to them. They've also added some ridges here on the sides to give it extra grip. There's also several spots that stick up on the back, so I think this one actually has pretty good grip to it. I think the magnet could be just a tad stronger on the back since it falls off when you shake it, but not bad overall. The case itself does weigh 43 grams, so not bad considering it's a little thicker, a little more rugged. Definitely one of the better looking rugged cases for the S25 FE from UAG. The OtterBox Commuter case comes in a few different colors. The one shown here is Cottonwood Glen Brown. Actually kind of a nice looking color in person. It's a hybrid case, a soft silicone on the inside, harder plastic shell on the back. Once you put them together, it's actually pretty rigid. This is the only case that I've tested so far that has a flap on the bottom for the charging port. I feel like the silicone on OtterBox cases are always a little bit more grippy than some of the others out there. There's a couple spots on the back where it sticks out. The power and volume buttons are covered by the silicone material as well. You can see a little bit on the corners too. Plenty of screen protection all the way around. Pretty good protection for the cameras on the back. Really nice clickiness on the buttons as expected from OtterBox. Doesn't have the built-in magnet, but of course it's going to work with wireless charging. Weighs about 54 grams for the case itself, so definitely has a little bit of weight to it. I still think they should probably put some silicone here on the sides where you grip the phone, but overall, probably one of the better rugged cases out there for the S25 FE from OtterBox. Now, if you just want a simple TPU case, the Spigen Rugged Armor case, it's actually one of the better ones out there in my opinion. You can see it's pretty flexible, but it actually has some really nice texture on the back, and they put some ridges on the side, which definitely help give it a little better grip as well. I think they've made this case quite a bit better than just a few years ago as far as grip goes and just overall design. It's got pretty minimal screen protection, has a little extra on the top and bottom. I also like how they put the texture on the power and volume buttons. Also has good protection for the cameras on the back. Power and volume buttons work really good on here, as you would expect from Spigen. Really the only thing it's missing is the built-in magnet, but of course it's going to work with wireless charging. I don't know if you can get much larger than the opening on this one for the charging port, so that's good to see. So that's 39 grams for the case itself, so definitely a little thicker considering it's just a TPU case. I would change the name on this one to like grip case or something like that because it really does have better grip than a lot of other cases I've tried. But overall, really nice job on this one from Spigen. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.